What are you doing? It's Nyla. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you haven't met me yet, I am a full-time working mom with one toddler girl, and on this channel I like to talk about all things design, specifically focusing on the home, how that impacts our mental well-being, and what we can do daily to improve that. If that all sounds good to you, please make sure to like and subscribe. I release videos every Sunday, typically, but the circumstances now are a little bit different because I'm moving. Okay, so where do I begin? Because honestly, this is kind of sudden. If you go back on my channel like 2 videos, which is like 2 weeks ago, you can see that I just recently remodeled my entryway. So for a long time I was actually going back and forth about moving, and I really like the apartment that I am in now. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. We've been here for a few years now, and it has served us well for the purposes that we needed it for. I liked having the ability to kind of create a space that was unique and worked for me. Typically with apartments, you have like this cookie cutter style apartment, and then you don't have a lot of wiggle room to change things around. But I did a lot of really nice projects here. I was able to redo the kitchen, which I did like a peel and stick kitchen, and that's still going strong. I just recently redid my entryway. I did an accent wall in my dining room, and then I ended up completely transforming my dining room in order to make a play area for my daughter. And that kind of brings me to my reason for moving. So another project that I did was I added a nursery to my bedroom. When I first moved in here, it was just my boyfriend and I. We didn't have a child, we had no baby. So when we ended up having our daughter, I knew we would still be here in this apartment, and it's just a 1-bedroom. So we kind of just made space for her in the main bedroom, and the bedroom itself is actually really pretty large. We were able to fit a dresser. I added wall shelves to make her kind of like her own little open closet area. So it worked really well when she was very small. Now that she is 2 years old, she's requiring a little bit more space. And like honestly, we've been making it work, but I feel like now, for my own personal preferences and my own sanity, I want areas that are designated specifically for me, or just, general like activities in general. A living room and a dining room and a kitchen that's completely separate. Like I said, my daughter, we kind of just turned our dining room into a play area for our daughter. So in the new space, I'm going to do a full-on empty house tour. And I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I wanted to do like a moving series and film some of the places that we looked at, but we kind of only looked at 2 places, and honestly they were very similar. But it was kind of like, you know what you like, and you like what you like. That's just what I wanted. Like I knew what I wanted, I knew what I liked, and we just decided to go for it. I had mentioned to my sister about moving and getting a bigger space and something that was better fitted for me and my lifestyle currently as it is. Eventually we do want to own a home, but right now that's it's on our radar, but it's not something that we're doing right now. We're gonna push that down a little further down the road. We might revisit that in the next year. So right now we are going to be renting, and my sister just started to kind of casually look for some places that we could potentially move to, and we ended up finding like this property that was new construction, and let me tell you, just gorgeous, beautiful. And we didn't end up going with that property, even though we did go to look at it. We ended up going with the same development company, just a different property and a little bit smaller, which was a little bit more within our budget and within our range. So yeah, like I said, we saw the one place, we went to see the second place, and then we put in an application, and that's that. So now I'm moving next week. I don't have a lot to pack because I have been decluttering since I got here. And honestly, it's really important to declutter every day, not specifically for reasons like, oh, you know, eventually when I move, I want to make sure that all my space is just completely decluttered and I don't have to move a whole ton of stuff. No, it's not anything like that. Decluttering is so important for your health, your well-being, your day-to-day. Like, there's a bunch of little ways you can declutter. It doesn't have to be this whole huge, you know, massive project that you take on like 3 times, 4 times a year, twice a year, or whatever. You can declutter in tiny little ways every day. If there's something, for example, that you know that you're not going to use and you're kind of on the fence about it, you can save it for, you know, like just okay. But there's something that you know that you're probably never going to use again. Like, for example, you know, an old shirt or something that you can't fit anymore. You can, what I've been doing is I started like a little box. So instead of just, you know, when I'm going through my closet looking for something to wear, whatever, in my head, if the thought comes to me, I'm probably never going to wear this shirt ever again, I take it off the hanger and I put it in a little box. And when that box is full, take it to Goodwill. So it doesn't have to be like a huge thing. You can do little things here, little things there, and slowly over time, essentially you're just decluttering without realizing that you're decluttering. And then I've also just been a little bit more mindful about the things that I do buy. I typically like for things to have more longevity, and I've been investing in pieces that I really do like, as opposed to things that I'm just getting like in the moment. You know, like how you used to go out on like, well, I don't know, some people might still be in their clubbing day, maybe once or twice a year, but you know, like your clubbing days, and you would go out on like a Saturday to the mall because you knew you were going out that night and you gotta look good. So you buy like, you know, your cute little dress and your cute little shoes, and you're like, okay, I got my outfit for tonight. Gets thrown back in the closet and then you never wear it again. So I'm trying to be like a little bit more mindful of things like that and invest in pieces that I actually really do like and I feel like I can wear, that are a little bit more versatile, except for Halloween. All bets are off for Halloween because that's my day to be absolutely creative, do what I want, and make like my little DIY costumes, and I live for Halloween. Anyway, so yeah, that's my little nugget on decluttering. And yeah, so right now I'm filming this on Thursday, and our move-in day is next Friday. So I have a lot to do in a very short amount of time. So typically what I like to do when I'm moving is kind of just start off with one room at a time. I've only moved twice before, but I've kind of essentially just done the same thing each time. This I have all of my daughter's stuff, so there is going to be a little bit more items than what I would typically carry on my own. So I'm just gonna start a little like with one room at a time, which has been working well for me. And I'm actually gonna start with the easiest room, which is the living room. And the things that I don't need immediately, which essentially are all of my decor items. So like these pictures behind me that you see on the wall, different decorative items that I have up on this wall over here, and just generally like around in my living and a dining area. And I'll just keep chucking away at it, you know, after work and get done what I can. Right now my toddler is napping, so that's like prime time to get things done. But I wanted to start filming this video. So yeah, I'm moving. It's happening. And the place that I'm moving into is absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait to show you. I'm really excited about it. So yeah. Okay, let's start packing up. I'm gonna start with my pillows and my blankets and get those packed away. I also wanna do some cleaning. Like, I just got this rug. It's a hot mess. My daughter tore it up, but I knew that she would. But I still really like the rug, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it anyway. But I'm fully invested in cleaning it because I have like my little green, I forget what it's called, my little mean green machine or something like that, my little portable cleaner. I'm gonna use that to clean my rugs and make sure that it's all ready and deodorized and nice and clean and as new as possible for this new place. And yeah, I'm hoping that so yeah, so let me get started. And so anyway, your girl is so exciting. I'm gonna get started and see what I can get done while my toddler is asleep. So this is actually crazy because I just put up these lights and they come with this little foam tape to put them up with, and look what happened. You see that? So these lights that I just put up, they ripped the plaster off of the wall and the paint. I would probably use some other type of maybe command strip to put these up, because while they are strong, the light itself is not that heavy, so they don't even require something super strong like to keep them up. 0 out of 10. So actually, for my last apartment, there was a little bit of drama with that. And I was worried about not being able to get my deposit back. So I was like a contractor in there, making sure that everything looked brand new, fresh, just like the day I got it. And actually, when we did the walkthrough, the maintenance guy said the apartment was move-in ready. So what I ended up doing there is I brought like, I believe it's plaster, which I'll probably end up doing the same thing for these up here. It was like plaster, and you mix it with like water and you paste it on the wall, and then you can like paint over it. So if you get like a little chip of the paint on your wall, and you take it to Home Depot or Lowe's. They can actually match that paint. So I got like a little sample size and I just painted over where like the little hole is in the wall, and it was perfect. So I can definitely vouch for these command strips because the picture just came off the wall with absolutely no issue whatsoever. And the toddler's awake. Again. Okay, so now we are on day 2 of moving. I started with my living room and then the dining room, which is kind of like my office slash my daughter's playroom. So that is actually still a work in progress. I didn't finish each room completely, but I wanted to make sure that I'm hitting the areas that require, I would say, either like a lot of energy, whether that's like mentally or physically, while I still have energy. I just took a lunch break. I started early, so I started earlier this morning, like probably around 7, 8. I was just up in the middle of the night thinking about everything that I had to do. So a lot of anticipation going on. And then this morning I ran out to Home Depot and I grabbed more boxes, and then I made myself a little Americano and I just started chipping away, but I have made a lot of progress. Honestly, you really don't know how much stuff you until you actually go to start, you know, working your way through it. I decluttered from moving from my parents' house to my first apartment, and then my first apartment to my second apartment, and then my second apartment to this apartment. Each time I've had to declutter more and more, and I would say I collected the most clutter when I was in my first apartment, and then in my second apartment when I got a little bit better of a job and I could afford more items, I focused on design more. So in that apartment, that's when I really started to like vamp up. Is that the right word? Anyway, let's go with that. I started to really vamp up my space and really worked on creating a space that I liked, that was unique to me. So when I moved from that apartment to this, that's when I started getting more and more into decluttering, and I guess I sort of started like this wellness journey. But being here and being in this space and sharing this space completely with not just my daughter but also my partner. Anyway, so when I really had to share my space and I really had to be intentional about the items that I had in my space, that's when the decluttering and sort of minimalist, I say minimalism, sort of, that's when that really came into play. So I found that I have decluttered a lot but there's still items that I've collected over the course of the past couple years that I can still declutter. I will say that moving from room to room has still been working really well for me. I just think that it's a little bit harder with my toddler because she's kind of getting into the boxes, and like her toy area was hard because she was like taking her toys out, and you know, I had to put them back in. I am leaving some of her toys out for her to be able to play with for the rest of the week. Right now it's Saturday, and then we're moving on next Friday. So I do want to have some items left out for her, but I was also able to work through her toys and figure out what items I potentially want to save for, you know, some items that I potentially want to save just because, you know, they sparked joy when I picked them up. So while they still spark joy, I still do want to hold on to them. But then also there were some items that I put for like a giveaway bag. So I'm kind of just doing that all at once. And I also really want to make sure that it is super clean. And I also want to make sure that everything is clean when I move into the new space. I just want to take things out of the box, put them in like their proper place, and I really want to make sure that I'm not carrying over things that I don't want, because I feel like it's easier to get rid of things when you're right there in the moment packing all your things away, as opposed to when you're unpacking and you're moving things into a new space, a new home, a new life. It's harder to get rid of them, then you end up hanging on to them again and they're not serving you, or they're not serving a purpose. So I want to make sure that I'm intentional about decluttering the things that I don't want right here, right now, and not carrying any extra baggage into this new place. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing for right now. And I'm about to start the kitchen, and I decluttered this kitchen like no other. I feel like this kitchen, from my last space to this space, it was a mess. And I actually did a video of me decluttering this kitchen and then doing a little mini makeover on this kitchen with like peel and stick on the actually that was not mini, because that was a whole process and it took me a while. So my makeover of my apartment kitchen, I did a video of that, and it was a lot of work, but I was so happy like once it was all done, and really happy with the result. So I shouldn't have a lot of items that need to be decluttered. There may be some old like cups or broken items that need to be disposed of, but I've been keeping up with my kitchen pretty well. So there's not a lot of decluttering, which I'm excited about because I'm really looking forward to furnishing my new kitchen with like new glassware. I want to get all new like plates, bowls. I just got new flatware, so that's actually really good, so I'll have that. But I really do want to stock my kitchen very nice and clean and very purposefully. I'm excited about the kitchen, if you cannot tell. So let me get started on this kitchen and keep on chugging away at this process. What are you doing? Do you need help? Say, help me, please. Help, please. Oh, you did it by yourself. You okay?